Guys, take a second. Oh, wait a minute. Give me a second. Hold on. Gotta alter the. Oh, no, actually, 11. The decibels are actually fine. Okay, never mind. We're all good. I'm not missing on the stream again. Okay, back into the game. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, alright. No, okay, we're good. Get some air ventilation going in the room before we start. Load. Discord, Northern Sojourn. I think this was it. Oh man, it's been a minute. Where? Text history. I remember we were checking out a house. Man, I kind of forgot some of this. Jesus. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. I remember this part. I remember up to this point, the whole sleeping in my normal clothing, and she's like, for 2 days. Okay. Though 2 days we've borderline, it's more than looking even a little like a slog would be unacceptable in the presence of two girls. Yeah, probably. Hang on a second. Okay, sorry, I have to take off my retainers because kind of felt like I was messing with the way I was talking for a second. Let's see. As we leisurely talk on the station platform, an announcement sounds from the loudspeakers, loudly heralding our right's arrival. Leaking past Lily and Hanako, though, the train's still well out of sight. Quick check of my watch is enough to see that's the one we'll be taking. The 5:30 train was ours, right? Correct. Either of you want me to take your bags? Mine's not exactly heavy. Yes, because you freaking packed super light, Hiso. I remember that. How can you be so unprepared? My, that's very gentlemanly of you, Hiso. So I'm gonna read through this just to refresh my mind, okay? Leading up to this, because I remember up to that point, everything else kind of like faded into the back. Don't accept too reluctantly now. As I bend down to pick up Lily's large bag, I look up to see Hanako picking up hers. You fine with that? A silent nod's the only answer. I'm starting to get the feeling that by the trip's end, I'll be able to count every sentence she said on one hand. The morning landscape passing by the window and the occasional rattle of the train bumping the carriage around. I try to focus my attention on the aging playing cards held in my hands. I'll raise you 5. I... She scrunches her face up and leans over to Lily conspiratorially, the two exchanging a few whispered words. Considering how often this has happened so far, I'm coming to doubt Hanako's grasp of how to play poker. Doesn't seem to disturb Lily's reading, though, her hands flitting over each page, with only occasional corrections to account for the train's bumping and rocking. My collection of chess pieces I were using as chips is steadily growing anyway, so it doesn't really bother me. Looking around us, our carriage is almost as empty as the station platform we'd waited for the train to self on. Only a handful of people can be seen, looking mostly like tourists and couples on holiday. While the two continue their less than clandestine strategizing, a small boy looks over the seat and stares at me. Hoping he doesn't even begin to stare at Hanako, I simply give him a wave and a smile. Thankfully, he retreats back to his seat after finding me far too boring to waste his attention on. Yay, we're boring! Hey Ray, welcome. I'm just doing a reading, that's all. People apparently like when I read this This visual novel. Right now, I'm just catching up on what was happening last time before we continue the story. I'll see you and raise you another 5. You got me, I fold. I've been bluffing and she's caught me. Hanging my head, I push over a large portion of my winnings. Hanako looks absolutely delighted, and even if Lily keeps her attention focused on her reading material, I can see the smirk on her face. They're both extremely pleased. For a moment, I try to work out what Lily's reading, but the cover is too faded to read beyond the fact that Roman letters are on it. Ah, pity I can't read the braille above the printed title. What are you reading, Lily? The title looks like it's in English. That's right. It's And Then There Were None, an old British story. I could read it to you if you like. She extends the offer with a grin, obviously in jest. I think I'll pass, thanks. After a seemingly endless trip, we finally reached the promised land of the Sato summer house. Even after the train trip, the walk-up seemed to take forever. Despite my grumblings, though, I'd have never guessed the sight that would be in store for us once we traveled that long, deserted road. It's more like a farmhouse than the everyday house I'd imagined, small in size and surrounded by trees and bushes. An empty expanse of wheat fields and farming land can be seen as we walk up, the fencing only consisting of rickety old wooden planks. It really drives home how far we are from the major cities, and is a sight that feels antithetical to the environment I grew up in. The only thing that doesn't surprise me is its western styling. Wow, it's amazing out here. It's wonderful. That's nice to hear. While Akira may have said that she's kept the house in reasonable condition, I was worried that we might have different standards of reasonable. It looks like there isn't another soul for miles. I thought Akira would be the type to keep to the city. Lily furrows her brow in thought, seemingly recalling almost forgotten knowledge. From memory, there's a small town not too far ahead. Other than that, this is largely just old farmland. Akira and I stayed in our parents' house, which was in the nearest city for a while. But after they left, we decided to move into a smaller, more easily maintainable house. To find a place like this in Japan nowadays, it's kind of anachronistic. Well, this town does have quite a bit of history. I looked down the street one last time before getting back to the task at hand. Shall we go in then? I'm parched. It was a long walk to get here. Lily gives an enthusiastic nod, the 3 of us lugging our bags into the house. As soon as we set foot inside, Hanako and I started looking around, taking in every detail of where we'll be staying for the next few days. Okay, here we go, we caught up. All the artifacts of another life stopped mid-motion are around the house, such as the television guide lying beside the counter was on, and pans in the adjoining kitchen still sitting on the stove. Okay, I believe it's this button. Yes. It's a strange feeling, really. As if we were stepping into Akira's life for a brief moment, before leaving in a couple days, just as we'd come. Of course, the more mundane reality is that she just hasn't cleaned up after herself that well. But where should we put our bags? I'll show Hanako our bedroom. You can put yours here if you like. You mean I don't have the same bedroom as you two? Bro, you were really asking if you're gonna share a room with 2 other teenage girls? How's it going? Going pretty well, Ray. I had my trip to Ireland and stuff. Ireland and England. That was pretty great. And yeah, no longer single after coming back, so that's even better. I feel like I could say I found the one. Hanako flowers into a full blush as Lily takes her cheek in her hand. Even Lily's like, wow, okay. Yeah, exactly. How bold. Oh my. How bold. You two. Oh, hold on. If I'm gonna leave my bags here, where will I be sleeping? On the couch, obviously. Where do you think you're gonna be staying now, Hisao? There's no other bedroom. Well, seeing as we lack a guest bedroom. The convertible futon, huh? Sorry, Hisao. I sigh, lamenting my place on the bottom rung of sleeping location priorities. Sorry, man, you're the man. You're the only guy here. You can sleep on the couch. Girls get the bed. I guess there's no other choice. Lily leaves to show Hanako to their bedroom, so I take a small tour of my surroundings after I drop my bag on the floor. Yeah, this is a hyper-realistic. Yeah, it looks like it just barely put a filter over it. The kitchen, just like the living room, is fairly modest. The rustic nature of the wooden furnishings drives home just how far we are from civilization. I do kind of like the look of this, though. It looks pretty nice. Very rustic, indeed. I enjoy it. I can appreciate it. Oh shit, fuck. I did it again. I didn't read. Okay, text history. Returned to the living room and decided to try out the television until they get back. With the touch of the remote, it immediately flickers to life. Apparently set to a news channel. Almost flopping down from exhaustion rather than sitting, I lay back and watch. So, yeah, other than my trip and stuff, there's not much going on. Oh yeah, my cousin got married. So yeah, that was really nice to watch. And watch and watch. Coincidentally, that works really well. Start drifting off to sleep. I remember I used to rag on my dad so much for falling asleep watching TV. And then now I become that person. I fall asleep watching TV now, and I'm just like, oh god. Becoming like my parents. Hisao. Quickly blinked to wake myself up. Lily and Hanako having returned minus their bags. From the Hokkaido night sky visible outside the windows, it looks like I drifted off to sleep. Looking to the wall-mounted clock, it's already 10. You found the television then? Yeah, it really does feel nice and homey here. I'm glad you like it. You were already out like a light when we came back after unpacking our things, so we didn't have to hard wake you sooner. Judging from her giggle, I must sound funny when I sleep. I swiftly decide not to inquire. There's some dinner waiting for you in the kitchen. Hanako gives a deep yawn, only just remembering to cover her mouth at the last second. My, are you tired? I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm pretty tired too. It was a long walk up here, and it's getting late. If that's the case, I suppose we should retire for the night. Good night, Hisao. Good night. Night. With that, they quietly turn and walk back to their bedroom. Rubbing my eyes, I sigh. Wonder if I'll be able to get back to sleep after being woken up. I suppose I'll eat something, watch some more TV quietly before going to bed. Oh. Transition. Is he still sleeping? I think so. I'm not. I am, however, incredibly tired. It's getting late in the morning. I know that. He likely stayed up to watch television. I could hear it from our bedroom. Only because I couldn't get to sleep. Should we wake him? Don't do that, Hanako. Please. No, we should leave him. I doubt he'd want to be woken early if he didn't get much sleep during the night. Oh, thank you, Lily. Besides, he sounds so peaceful. You'd be ashamed to wake him when he's like this. Keep a straight face, Isao. It is nice she cares so much, though. Hanako, could you go to the fridge and fish out what's needed to make lunch? Alright, just the vegetables and rice? That should be enough. We only need something simple, as we can eat in town later. Hanako's footsteps on the carpeted floor can be heard. Moving away from the living room. As they do, I feel Lily's hand gently rest on my chest. Whoa. It takes a titanic effort not to react, but something about her makes me think she knows I'm awake. A long silence passes. The only thought in my mind is of that gentle, outstretched hand laying upon my chest. After an indiscernible amount of time, Lily withdraws her hand. Good morning, Hisao. She knows you're sleeping, or she knows you're awake. Conceding defeat all too easily, I prop myself up and rub my eyes. How'd you know? Your breathing was off. Well, that makes sense. She couldn't have needed that long to work it out. Knowing her hearing, she likely knew before laying her hand on me. If you want to sleep more, you should really go to bed earlier. I heard the television going long into the night. Sorry about that. My medications have been interfering with my sleep for a while now. Even if I'm tired, I have trouble actually sleeping. I'm sorry for bringing it up, Hisao. I sigh. This is exactly the kind of thing I wish others wouldn't do. I feel like waving her off seems kind of bad. But I am gonna save it, just in case. Let's see. I could save it over this one, because this was just going off that, and that's not a choice. This one was a choice. We gotta let her in. I feel like this is the best way. We gotta let her in. Address it. Because if you push problems away or push things that you don't like, then it's just gonna get worse. Communication is key. Come on. You worry about me more than I do at times. It just means I have to sleep a bit longer, that's all. But still, I'd say that I look absolutely fine, but I guess that wouldn't have a lot of meaning for you. She gives a sigh of consternation before trailing off with an amused chuckle, giving up the point. If you say so. Please do take care of yourself, Hisao. Go on, Hanako could use some help. She moves to protest, but reluctantly acquiesces and disappears into the kitchen, her hand running along the smooth white walls as she slowly walks. For a while I sit and watch television and attempt to wake myself a little more, but it's futile. I don't have anything better to do, so I follow Lily's lead. As round the corner, I see Hanako and Lily backs turned, quietly cutting food on the granite-colored counter. I am temporarily engrossed to watch Lily guiding the knife down carefully with a finger on the cabbage she's cutting, each slice delivered slowly but with precision. She seems a little slow, but considering that she can't see what she's doing, it's a small wonder she can cook at all, let alone for both her and Hanako. Hi, Hanako. Lily. Want any help? Is that his? Ah! Okay. Oh, morning, Hisao. Lily jerks back in surprise before turning around, her yelp immediately drawing Hanako and me to her side. She cut herself? What's, Oh, she did cut herself. Small trickle of scarlet falls downward from her pale fingertip, the knife having cut just deep enough to draw blood. Television sound masking my footsteps. She must not have noticed me coming. To compensate for having to use touch to guide everything she does during cooking, she must need to pay extra attention. Lily! Don't worry, Hanako. It's just a small wound. You should still get a band-aid on it, at least until it stops bleeding. First aid stuff would be in the bathroom, right? I think so. Will you be okay here, Hanako? Found out how little heed she's paying to herself as Hanako gives a quick, almost automatic nod. Oh. I remember I did something similar once to my brother. I had a I remember this was during a time when my mom and I was living with my mom, and my stepdad and my baby sister, they had gone on a vacation trip basically. So it was just me, my brother, my cousin, who is the one I live with that I live with now, and my best friend. We were basically just hanging out together for that time, and I remember I had a nosebleed that kept going for over 30 minutes. When it was going over 30, once it hit the 45-minute mark, then we're like, oh, okay, this is not stopping. We need to go to the hospital. And I remember as we were leaving to go to the hospital, my brother was like following us like out to the front door. And he was like looking worried, and I'm like, all right, you'll be okay, right? Like by yourself for a bit. And he's like, yeah, I'll be okay. You should worry about yourself though. Yeah, so So yeah, there was me, you know, who knows what was happening in the moment, and then still being like asking asking my brother like, "Oh, hey, you gonna be okay still?" Yeah. I mean, considering that like I was the eldest there, at least, you know, like I said in the moment, I kind of felt like I'm I'd be responsible if something were to happen to him too. So I don't know. Luckily, it was no big deal. Nothing really happened. The nosebleed, like it matched to clot after all, but it was because I was taking cold medicine because I was feeling a little. I feel like I was getting like coming down with something. I feel like everybody had an unstoppable nosebleed at least once. Yeah, yeah, at least once in the childhood or some point in their lives. So yeah, so that was fun, I guess. But just this, you know, seeing Lily do the same for Hanako. Yeah, it's fine. I can keep making lunch. An awkward silence reigns as I set the bottle of antiseptic and box of band-aids on the side of the sink. Lily's finger held out for me to treat. The lid of the bottle comes off with a minimum of resistance, and a small ball of cotton I soak in the liquid stains a pale green. Okay, hold still. This will probably hurt a bit. She gives a small nod as I take hold of her hand to steady it. With all the tenderness I can muster, I gently bring the dampened wad to the small red line. Uh, what? I barely touched it. Sorry. I give a sigh, both at her reaction and to set on my own nerves. Your pain tolerance is certainly low. Well, I mean, once you can't see it, so like you can't brace yourself for something when you can't see it. I would tell you to man up, but I can't really do that. As she gives a small giggle, I take advantage of her momentary distraction and gently press the pecan against her finger a few times. Thankfully, it's enough to do the job. We both settle somewhat as I bring the band-aid over the tip of her finger, covering the wound while making sure not to get stuck to her fingernail. There, finished. You can move now. Taking her hand from mine, she gently clasps it in the other. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's no problem. It's the least I can do after causing you to hurt yourself, after all. She shows her head slightly at the apology, absentmindedly rubbing her hand in what seems to be embarrassment. I really don't mind. Her answer doesn't seem to make much sense, given that what happened is pretty clearly my fault. I can't help grimacing at her, despite the fact that her dainty smile still holds. She must not like being reminded of the limitations her lack of sight imposes on her. It's something I can't possibly fault her for. I've fallen prey to the same kind of feelings before, despite my condition not being nearly as ubiquitous in my life. Neither of us any the happier. We head back to the various smells of cooking food coming from the kitchen. I lay out the plates of food, steam slowly rising from the well-cooked rice and curry dishes, while Hanako lays out the cutlery. Knife one side, fork on the other. Western. How perfectly fitting for someone like Lily. As we take our seats, taking careful heed of the dark red tablecloth hanging below our knees, Lily emerges from the kitchen. In her hands are 3 glasses and a bottle of wine. As I recall a previous run-in with that devilish elixir, I hide my face in my palm. Alcohol. Seriously? She pauses as she reaches the table, a playful grin perched on her face. Akira specifically gave permission to take a bottle from her collection. Not only does she give alcohol to minors, she even lets them pilfer their own. Perfect model for a responsible adult Akira is not. More to the point, though, is that this is hardly a meal deserving of alcohol. I'm starting to think Lily's the type to easily become hooked on things. Ah, an addictive personality. Hold on. That's not really the problem. I don't really have any qualms with it. But didn't you have a bad experience with it last time? Last time was likely due to drinking too much, so a single glass shouldn't prove a problem. Think of it as a learning experience. I can't recall many learning experiences that made me feel rotten before putting me to sleep, but I'll take your word for it. An alcoholic. She dips an uninjured finger inside to feel the liquid level. Tip against the bottom as the liquid rises up. The white of her finger almost seems to glow as the sunlight hits it, a delicate outline blurred and refracted by the glass. Her fingers are definitely longer than mine, kind I think more suited to a pianist than a teacher. She'd likely have done well if she learned how to play. We quickly dig into her meal, forks and knives clattering against the plates. I remember that was something Ixie was talking about once with me in person. He was looking at my hand basically, and he was just noting that my fingers are like thin and long basically. So, and yet still smaller obviously than his. None of us are particularly eager to speak while eating, Lily altogether too reserved for such a thing. Hanako probably too shy to start a conversation, and I too busy savoring the food. Such a pedestrian activity eating together at a table. It seems so utterly normal, yet it makes me realize how long it's been since I've done something like this. Just three of us sitting around a single table, eating as if we were a malformed family. Maybe this trip, as far away from everything as we are, was worth it. Oh, brother. Takes quite a long time, but eventually we all finish our surprisingly filling meal. The wine, thankfully, has little effect given we've only had a glass or two each. I slump back into the seat, rubbing rubbing my stomach contentedly. Ugh, I'm stuffed. Lily pats her mouth with a napkin. Twice, only twice, and with evenly timed intervals in between. It's hard to tell sometimes whether how she acts is a well-trained routine or a well-rehearsed act. I think I must be as well. Did you like it, Hanako? It was nice. Now that we're all fed, shall we be off? Off? Oh, where? You weren't privy to the discussion between Hanako and me earlier. I get the impression that she's having a subtle dig at my sleeping in. We'll be going into the town nearby. I guess I should have expected two girls to take a holiday as an excuse to go shopping, no matter where on the planet they may be. Must have been a sweet wank to try when he's horrible for me. I imagine to see more around the north, though, so this can really be a good thing. Sounds good. How long's the walk, then? Walk in, then? It's supposed to be around a mile to a mile and a half. Nearby, huh? Great. It's not too far, yeah. Just great. A mile and a mile and a half is not much, buddy. Calm the fuck down. You'll get there in like 15 minutes. So climb out the path, surrounded by trees and undergrowth. I watch Lily and Hanako walking ahead. Slight breeze all but whisks away the sound of Lily's cane gently tapping on the ground. I notice that Lily's since removed the band-aid now that the bleeding of her finger has stopped. A deep, lung-filling breath of the fresh, crunchy air makes me wish all the harder that the air around home had been quite so clean. This person with heart problems probably is, so. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be like wine in itself is supposed to be good for your heart. Assuming you only drink one glass a night. Can't have even been half a mile, but I'm already working up a sweat. It isn't a... Oh, wait, Oh, that's right. I just realized what you're meaning right now, Ailey, that a mile and a half would be a lot for someone with a heart condition. It isn't a pleasantly cool day, though, so I shouldn't be too hard on myself for it. Hey, Lily, how well do you know this town, anyway? Since I spent quite a few of my vacations here up until I entered Yamaku, I'd say I know it fairly well. We used to drive there once a weekend then. I wish Akira was here to drive us now. We could take a moment to rub my hands a couple times, staving off the oddly cold feeling in them. Do you like it up here? I'd say it was nice during winter, but as you can work out, summers get a little too hot for comfort. It's nice and quiet at least. My family's real house is quite far south. When they left Japan, my parents gave it to Akira and me. Only Akira lives there now, after my moving into Yamaku. Well, quiet certainly describes this place. Though lonely is how I'd put it. Other than the prophesied small town, there isn't another soul for miles around. Coming from a home nestled deep within the big city, it's certainly different. Things are comically frustrating. Oh yeah, I'll only have one glass. I think that if I had not come to Yamaku, staying out in the country like this would be too much of a change to get used to. After getting accustomed to the school's isolation, though, the idea of living in a place such as this has become almost inviting. To be somewhere away from the hustle and bustle of the metropolitan centers. So, Hisao, have you been to Hokkaido before? Nah, I used to live down south, and we never had any field trips or holidays up this far. Well, it's a new experience for you then. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised at how nice it feels here. How about you, Hanako? She shakes her head from side to side. It's my first time too. As I continue walking, I begin to feel pins and needles in my legs. Ooh. Oh, shit. This, buddy, this sounds like you need to take a break. Oh my god. So disturbing, given there's no reason for it to be happening. No, man, I think there's plenty of fucking reason for it to be happening. Could you two hold on a moment? I just need to... Is anything wrong? Nah, I just got pins and needles and... Oh, shit, oh, fuck, there it is. I had a feeling this was gonna happen. Ah, man. The moment that I started realizing what you meant, Alif, that, a mile and a half might be too much, or might actually seem like might seem kind of far to someone with a heart condition. I already had a feeling. I was like, oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me, like, just the walk in itself is gonna fuck him up. Oh, man. Shit. The dude definitely needs someone. He needs someone to drive him. Or or drive himself, but oh jeez. My vocal cords suddenly become taut as my chest tightens instantaneously. I quickly pull my upper arm over it, trying to quell the shot of pain spreading throughout my entire body. Hisa. Hisa? Lily's face is only mildly concerned, not knowing the site which Hanako's recoiling from. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just tired. I move my arm from my chest and force myself to begin walking again. It's just a minor heart flutter, so it'll pass like the others. Don't. Oh my god. Oh god. It only takes a couple of steps where my body violently revolts against me, my legs suddenly beginning to give way underneath me, and all the tension in my knees seeming to evaporate. Holy crap. Before I can react, they uselessly give way under my weight, leaving me only just enough time to brace myself and fall into all fours. Damn. As I look up to her, I realize my face is still taut with pain, only adding that much more to her wording. Hisao, Hanako, tell me what's going on. Hanako, tell me. Hanako quickly moves to my side as Lily almost panics, having little clue as to exactly how bad a condition I'm in. While she stands there petrified, I lower my face and take a deep breath. I come to a realization that makes me endlessly irritated with my stupid self. With all the excitement of my new surroundings, I entirely neglected to take my medications last night, or even this morning. Oh, fuck. I can understand that, because I've had that happen, where... Like, I get so distracted with what's going on in my, especially, like, it happened a few times when I was on my holiday where obviously I'm having fun and I forget to take the pill. My ADD meds and all that. Ugh. Oh man. Taking another breath, the acute pain in my chest begins to die down as suddenly as it had arrived. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. As it does, I become acutely aware of the sweat by now pouring off my face and the two scared girls around me. Hey, Sal. I'm fine, Lily. I'm fine. I screw my brow in an effort to lever myself up. Hanako's arms quickly move and catch me by fall as I stumble a bit before regaining my balance. I look to Lily and Hanako, worry written on both their faces. I feel awful. Really awful. Ending boy, Aiza. I think we should go back. I, realizing the futility of protesting, I look away in frustration. Fine. Ah. And I'll see, I've been that person who had gotten sick, during like an outing or something. Like I threw up or something like that, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, we're take you home now." So I can understand how he's feeling. That he felt like he ruined a day. I mean, or I don't know. He might be feeling awful in general as to like physically as well. Physically, he feels like shit. Mentally or emotionally, maybe he feels like shit too because he felt like he scared them, and on top of that, like they were supposed to have a fun day out and stuff, but now they can't even do that anymore. So I open my eyes groggily, completely bereft of energy. For a while, I simply lie down lifelessly, staring at the ceiling as I review the events of the morning in an attempt to organize my thoughts. Please tell me you took your medicine when you got back. We went to walk to town. My heart nearly gave way. We came back. Okay. Okay, good, good. I took my pills. I slept. I only remember each period of time as a snapshot, but the timeline is clear enough. The memory of the girls' faces as I struggled to stand is an unpleasant one, stinging my feelings harshly. If I look at the ceiling hard enough, I can imagine the tile edges and small dimples of the ceiling in the hospital. That fact alone is enough to make me sit up and try to pull myself together. Oh shit. So he's getting some flashbacks. Or, yeah, he's like imagining seeing the hospital again. Oh, fuck, I did it again. Let's see. I scratched the back of my disheveled hair, glancing around the room. Lily and Hanako are nowhere to be seen, and the television's turned off. The clock above it says it's pretty late in the afternoon. The noticeably reddened sky outside the windows confirms it further. I turn and pick myself off of the futon, swaying slightly as I put my arms out for balance. I suppose I'd better go look for the girls to see if they're all right. As I look out the window, I faintly see something in the distance. Straining my eyes, I could just make out the shape of a person's figure. Her long blonde hair, swaying in the faint breeze, makes her almost seem to melt into the bright yellow of the wheat field. Without a second thought, I leave the room to follow that lone apparition. It's Lily, isn't it? The brightness of the setting sun assaults my freshly woken eyes, forcing me to avert them until they adjust. The long yellow strands of wheat brush against my legs as I wade through them, the densely grown field making it hard to advance. Regardless, my eyes stay fixed ahead, true to that solitary figure. Within minutes, I reach her, meters behind her, and turn back. Lily? She simply nods. Where's Hanako? She's in bed. She went to sleep after I calmed her down. She says it matter-of-factly, and with as few words as possible, as if saying any more was strictly forbidden. There's something different about her. Her normally confident figure seems oddly fragile, her body offering no resistance to the breeze blowing her skirt. Oh, I just realized she felt useless. Or useless, helpless, like she felt like she could not help or do anything. And when you think about it, like if Hanako wasn't there, I mean, it doesn't seem like Hanako was able to tell her what exactly was going on. But if it was only just the two of them, I feel like the feeling would be intensified because, you know, you're hearing someone you care about like suddenly collapse and you hear them making noises of pain and stuff, but you don't know what's happening and they're unable to talk and tell you what's wrong. Oh, because, and you know, obviously you can't, you know, in her case, she can't see what's happening. Like, it's bad enough when you see an accident happening and all that stuff, but then, like, I can imagine how much worse it could be if you're only hearing it. And all you're seeing is just darkness and you're hearing things of, like, something going wrong, but you don't know what's going wrong. Like, normally, like, I'm pretty good in, it's, you know, pretty tough situations like that and all that stuff, or at least when, you know, things become intense. But the more I think about it, if I was lacking a sense, like had a disability of one of my senses, I don't know, like I feel like I might freeze up because I really wouldn't know what to do. The strands of wheat sway from side to side while a deafening pause passes, the only sound being their rustling. As we stand in the field alone, I know what I have to ask. What's wrong, Lily? You're not acting like you usually do. Remember when I talked to my family, Hisao? Your family. I looked downwards in thought, sifting through my scattered memories. The event seems to leap ready to hand when I search for it, rising to surface as soon as it was recalled. After Hanako's birthday party, she gives a simple nod. It was nice, back then, you and I, celebrating with Hanako. Simply sharing presents, talking, having fun together. It was almost as if we were a family. One small, misshapen family. I thought that could just go on forever. Just three of us, happily together. She takes a long breath, a slight shakiness to it, just barely audible through the moving air. Even if my family was so far away, as long as we were together, that was all I needed. I don't want to lose you, Hisao. I didn't even realize how afraid I was of losing someone else until today. Until. I'm sorry, Lily. I know my body's weak, but even then, I make the most stupid of mistakes. Don't apologize. Please, don't apologize. Lily? She turns to face me, her pale cheeks stained with tears. One misguided step after another, she stumbles towards me, her arms held out in search of so much as a faint brush against me. Oh, this is a nice... This is a nice image, it's so pretty. My heart doesn't race nor pound as I step towards Lily, gently taking and steadying her in my arms as she quickly clutches to me, sobbing. With her face trembling against my shoulder, the next words from her mouth are the last I expected. I love you, Hisao. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Don't go away. I beg of you. Never ever go away. I love you, so please. So, that's why she's been acting like this. That tender voice when I called her, her thoughtless concern of the slightest pain I might feel. After having been left in Japan without her family, with only Akira, Hanako, and me around, she's afraid of losing yet another person who was close to her. She was genuinely worried for me. It's a strange feeling, a mix of surprise and sorrow, yet also the deepest gratitude I think I've ever felt. The only reaction I can muster among my conflicting emotions is a calm sigh. You idiot. He's so. For a fleeting moment, I feel her body become still. The only movement to be felt is the calm afternoon breeze. I said it before, didn't I? It's only natural to feel concerned about those around you. I'm still here, and I'll always be here, because I want to see you more each day, to share in your happiness, to support you in your sadness. But most of all, I'll still be here because I want to see your smile, your true smile. A single gust of wind rustles the long strands of wheat. A second's silence passes. Smile when you want to smile. Cry when you want to cry. I love you, Lily. So, you don't have to hold back anymore. With that, her arms clutch my back as tightly as she can, her face buried beside mine. Her tears fall down my back. She cries unrestrainedly as the last of her resistance melts away. Oh, feeling a little more vulnerable. Hisao. Hisao, Hisao. I close my eyes and bring my head down to her shoulder, holding her shaking frame tightly. It's okay, Lily. I'll never go away. I promise. We slowly walk back to the house, holding each other tightly as we take a seat inside. Lily leans her head onto my shoulder, so I put my arm around her waist. Neither of us has any want to break the silence. With her eyes shut, it's hard to work out whether she's fallen asleep. Not that I mind. The warmth of her body leaning against me, the softness of her hand delicately held in mine. For a long, long time, we sit leaning against one another, sharing our warmth and feelings as night eventually begins to settle in. Lily's gentle, soft voice ends the silence. Thank you, Hisao. Thank you? For returning my feelings. Did you think I wouldn't? There was the possibility. I take a deep breath and thought, that much was only my fault. And it's funny, actually. I was thinking of telling you about my own feelings sometime soon. I guess in that way you saved me the effort. She raises her head a little and gives a tiny amused giggle. I smile at how earnest it is. So girlish in its lightness. She collects herself soon afterward, her hair resting against my shoulder. Feeling a bit better? She gives a small nod. You're thoughtful, Hisao. That's why I like you. I'm sorry I'm like this. As much as I didn't want to make you concerned for me, I couldn't do anything to prevent it. Don't apologize for it. Please don't. Lily? Have I ever apologized for my blindness even once? Can't help the way you were born, Hisao. There's no point in apologizing for who you are. She says this with surprising conviction. In the end, it was perhaps this mentality which spurred her to befriend me in such a short time, in addition to her motherly instincts. She did seem to become trusting very quickly, but I never questioned why. Now it seems obvious that she did so to help me, as I went through one of the lowest points of my life. I moved to respond, but cut myself off as I feel her fingers run gently through my hair. I feel their soft and delicate touch moving downwards to trace the contours of my face, her palm finally settling on my cheek. You are a beautiful person, Hisao. Please, don't ever apologize for that. For a moment, I'm literally speechless. I slowly bend my head down, placing a tender kiss on her light, voluminous hair. We're a couple of right old fools, aren't we? We are. After a long calm, she speaks again. Hisao, Yeah? I... I wouldn't mind if you... I feel her hand tensing under mine, trembling slightly. My mouth opens, but try as I might, I can't formulate a response to her proposition. Wait, duo? Oh shit, it's been forever. It's been a while, a very long time since I last saw you. Lily? Before I can say another word, she slips her hand from under mine and tenderly holds the side of my face once more. She wants a kiss, goddammit! Shoot your shot, man! Please. Oh wait, no, maybe... Because with the faces she's making, she sounds like she's pouting a little bit like, come on, man. Hmm. Please. I give a peaceful smile, holding her hand against my cheek as I nod a single time. She can't see you nodding, buddy. Okay. As I look into her eyes, she leans towards me. Her delicate lips touch mine as she guides herself with her hand. She breaks off not a second later, faintly smiling. I love you, Hisao. We kiss again, this time with both of us meeting the other. Oh my god, it actually went. Look at that grilling shrimp. So those of you guys who don't know, that's actually seeing the fish grilling and stuff like that, all that food, it basically means that, you know, they got down and dirty a bit. It's life and all. I just saw you were live. I thought I'd pop in, say hi since I'm at work, trying to stay awake too. Oh, okay. Well, I'm doing a reading. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to stay up on that. But I have a bunch of other playlists and stuff that you could probably watch. Um, I think if you want to see me have a hard time with something, it's I did recently do Sonic Heroes on the PlayStation 2, so yeah. Oh man, that one. That fucking game, God. Well, I mean, it makes sense. They're teenagers, so a little hormonal. I will say though that compared to Suzune, yes, God, it took me a second to remember her name. Compared to Suzune, or rather her story, her route, this kind of felt like it came about more naturally, or at least it felt like a good proper slow burn. Anyway, like between him and between the DMC, Hisao and Lily. Sounds an interesting so far. Staying up, well, the work calls. Ah, okay. Because with Suzune, it seemed like it was a little spontaneous when it happened the first time, and the second time was a little, okay, we're gonna do it in the classroom, huh? It just seems slightly out of place, at least. So I don't know, like so far I like this, yeah. After being woken by a sound, I open my eyes with a measure of reluctance. Turn my head to the left. I find the rain outside sweeps against the windows loudly. Spray after wind-blown spray lashes against the glass, as if trying its hardest to make up for the summer's previous heat. I sit up in the futon, holding the back of my neck to try and subdue the pain from my awkward sleeping position. By all accounts, I should be lamenting a turn in the weather, sorry. Turn in the weather, given that this is our last day here. The events of yesterday refuse to stop flooding my mind, though. The feeling of holding Lily's crying body in my arms. There it is, the rush of lust and hormones that flowed through us as we spent the night together. It seems almost futile to try and rationalize everything that happened. In an attempt to distract myself, I groan and lean over to retrieve my bag without standing. Pulling out one bottle after another, I take the daily regimen's worth of pills from their containers and swallow them without further ado. Damn, man, this dude's broad dogging it. He just, or rather, like, he's not taking the pills with water. I mean, if he wanted raw dog life, though, he would not take the pills. Yeah, it took a surprisingly short amount of time to get used to swallowing pills without water. Oh, so that's how you did it. That said, I suppose the same thing goes for getting used to living in a school for disabled students. Remembering Yamago, I become all the more grateful for having the chance to get away, even if it's just for the shortest of times. I appreciate the chance to spend time alone with Lily and Hanako, away from the bustle of the school life, even considering the latest complications. I never thought I'd say it, but the idea of living away from the city in a nice, tranquil area is an inviting one. It's a thought that barely a year ago would have seemed simply ludicrous. A flash of pink, no doubt Hanako's gown, peeks from around the corner. Realizing I must look a sight since I've only just woken up, I slap the remaining pills into my mouth and run a hand through my hair. Good morning, Hisao. Good. I reply to her, completely forgetting that I'm in the middle of swallowing a particularly large pill. Coughing and spluttering, I violently gag on it. Oh god. Hisao. After spitting loudly and tapping my chest a couple times to force it down, I managed to recover. I'm fine. Sorry, I forgot I was swallowing. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I hold my hands up, gesturing for Hanako to stop. I gagged. It's my fault. Morning, Hanako. She pauses a moment before bowing in reply. Looking? No. Staggering in behind Hanako is the familiar figure of Lily, also dressed in her pajamas. With eyes full of sleep and hair bedraggled, she's a sight to behold. Hi, Lily. Good morning, Isao. For a while, silence hangs in the air, as neither of us knows what to do. Don't tell me Hanako heard what happened. Please tell me she didn't hear it. Please tell me she didn't hear it. Given what happened last night, we both have more than enough reason to be finding the situation awkward. Just how are we meant to react to meeting each other after something like that? Sorry, I'm laughing because it's such a teenager thing, I guess. She probably got the whole show. I'm laughing because it's such a teenager thing to worry about. Um, I don't know, for me, like, I never had that issue, so like, if I messed around with someone and saw them the next day, it didn't bother me. I'm just like, oh, hey. Hello again. But it's also because I'm of the mind that, you know, for me to even display that type of affection, it's, I see it as the ultimate expression of love. I mean, for me anyway, you know? I know people can do it just to do it, you know? Fuck just to fuck. But, yeah, for me, at least in my case, like, I can't bring myself to do it just like that, you know? There's feelings involved. And it's a requirement before doing that. So that's kind of why, like, because it's such an expression for me like that, like, I don't, to me, it's baffling to think of it as awkward after. Especially in this case, like, you know, like, between Hisa and Lily, you know, they said that they loved each other and everything. They don't want to lose each other. But then again, if it was their first time, then it makes sense. It might be a little awkward. The best course of action would probably be to talk to Lily alone, to set things in order. Um, I'll Start making breakfast. Lily evidently catches on to my train of thought. I'll help. Hanako, could you set the table? She nods, her head disappearing into a cupboard as she quickly goes about her assigned task. I rub a little more sleep out of my eyes as I wander over to the fridge and take out some milk, and Lily grabs various brightly colored boxes from some of the lower cupboards to my side. Well, while we make the rather bland-looking meal, I whisper somewhat more quietly than usual. Knowing Lily's hearing, she won't have any trouble catching what I say. Are you okay, Lily? After last night? She gives a delicate nod, her expression weak. Though her tiredness surely plays a part, she seems genuinely unsure about what's happened between us and how to move ahead. Can't say I blame her, considering my feelings are the same. I'm sorry, Hisao. I wasn't thinking straight yesterday. I never stopped to consider you or Hanako. And I even went as far as... She went winding herself up. With her hands and voice both tightening, I gave her a gentle bump to try and lighten up the situation. You don't have to apologize. I said I liked you as well, after all. No, she said that she loved you. But As her composure begins to falter, it becomes obvious there's no alternative. Gingerly, I gently embraced her tall frame. She offers no resistance at all, thankfully pulling back, just from the edge of her emotions. Oh, despite her reassuring embrace lasting only a matter of seconds, I noticed Hanako wordlessly watching. Oh, she's just looking at like, okay, what are you guys doing? The plate in her hand hovers inches above the table, her action halted midway by the sight. What are you doing, my sister? The clatter of utensils against plates is the only sound we heard as we silently eat. Whereas before only two of us may have been unsure of ourselves, the entire situation has changed. Oh, the fact that Hanako saw... Well, she saw them hugging. I don't know if she... I really don't know if she really did see the whole show or anything like that, or... So she is a tall one, yeah. Oh... Oh shit. After weeks of blissful friendship, whiling away the days with shared meals and chatter with little meaning, the relationship of Lily and me, no, that of all of us, has irreversibly changed. I can't take this. Lily. She solemnly nods, gently laying her spoon onto the plate in front of her. Neither of us knows exactly how we regard each other, let alone how Hanako would view us. This might seem abrupt, but I've confessed to Hisao. For a moment, Hanako looks almost confused, precisely the reaction I thought she would have. She eventually nods, her spoon still in her mouth as she does. Did you accept? I did. She gives a smile so large and so earnest, I find myself blushing. I think it's the brightest I've ever seen her expression look. Aww. When down, it seems she is invisible to others. Then, I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. I'm sorry for not telling you anything about it before. Things have been... Hanako shakes her head, from side to side, emphatically, apparently forgetting in her rush that Lily couldn't possibly notice. She begins fiddling with her fingers, looking a little more nervous than she did before. To be honest, I began to think you might like each other a while ago. At first, I didn't really know what to think about it. But I decided in the end that if my friends are happy, then I'm happy. I was really glad to have another friend when we met Hisao. So you finding love through him is even better, right? Feeling of relief at her acceptance of our relationship falls over me like a wave. The same happens to Lily, judging by her expression. Thank you, Hanako. I really appreciate you being so understanding. Lily's voice still sounds slightly apologetic, or at least unsure. This doesn't escape Hanako, who appears lost in thought for a few moments before turning to me. Hisao, Do you mind if Lily and I go outside for a bit? No, feel free. Hanako? Hanako gets up from her seat, taking Lily's hand and almost dragging her from the table in her excitement. Considering Lily's typically slow and steady pace, Hanako's haste makes her footing awkward, and she almost loses her balance a couple times. It's a pretty amusing sight, leaving me wordless as I watch them disappear out the door. It's only now that I realize the rain stopped, being replaced by sky seemingly all the more vivid and bright, to make up for the morning's drab gray expanse. For Hanako, this must be a pretty big revelation. Lee and I are really the only people she associates with, almost as if we were parents in her own stead. I suppose that might well be the best way to describe the relationship we share. Father, mother, and daughter, all play around in our little make-believe family as if it could last forever. It might be a strange dynamic, and one that certainly can't last for long. But maybe, just for this one small moment, it's okay. As I stand from the table and go to join Lily and Hanako in the fields outside, I nod to myself in affirmation. This one small moment of happiness, no matter how brief, will last with me. With all of us, forever. Submerged deep in the hot water, I let out a drawn-out sigh escape my lips. The feeling of seemingly every muscle in my body relaxing is euphoric. I have no idea how long it's been since I had a genuine hot bath, but right now I can hardly bother trying to remember. Maybe I'm giving the simple fact that for once I get to have a real bath more credit than it's due. The chance to just calm down, allow myself to unwind, and have some time to myself is a welcome one. Hanako, Lily, and I wandered about outside, exploring the extent of this surprisingly large tract of land surrounding the house. Now we spent the majority of the afternoon resting, watching television, reading, and playing cards. It may not have been the most exciting finale to the trip, but such tranquil peacefulness is something to savor. Even after we return to the school tomorrow, I think I'll remember this little house in Hokkaido for a long time. I kind of already showed the movie theater, though. I just went into my other save file and went on there from there. Because the first 100% save file had it unlocked already. So I'm going to change the title of the SpongeBob stream, the last one I just did, the one from today, to final probably, because I don't see what else I can do really, since I already shown the concept art of the theater. That's okay though. I could do more reading of Katawa Shoujo anyway. It's a pity we only have a couple more hours to spend here. We're going to get the train back. All I can do is yawn, contentedly while I watch the steam slowly rising from the clear water's placid surface. My eyes eventually locking onto the ceiling. Our exams are imminent. Barely studied at all for them. Top of that, I don't even know what I'll do after graduation. Passing exams is all well and good, but to what end? Also, now of all times, getting into a relationship. What the hell am I doing? Guess I shouldn't think like that. What's done is done. Maybe this could be viewed as just another aspect of my new life that I'm working on. I enjoy being with Lily, and there's more to life than school and a career after all. As I busily attempt to rationalize all that's happened, I hear a series of raps on the door. I pick myself up and sit upright, trying to figure out the source. 3, no more, no less. Light yet assertive in their tapping, and timed regularly enough to tune a metronome. I'd be extremely surprised if it wasn't Lily. May I come in? Yeah, it's Lily. I'm still in the bath. I'll be on in a sec. I know. Voice coming from the other side of the door freezes me. After a second's thought, I rest on the side of the bath and let my arms dangle over the side. So I try my best to play it off. I can't help letting my mind wander. Oh, because she can't see anyway, so... Sure, come in. And if they already... Since they already did had sex already, then I guess he's like, oh, I guess it doesn't matter, right? that, she opens the door, slowly walking into the room and closing it behind her. She looks oddly calm, countering my racing heart. I kind of line up cards before lunch, so I know what you mean on having... I don't have feelings if I attach to such things. I'm the same way, yeah. Uh, hey, Lily. No fucking way. I thought they were gonna shoot shrimp. This is melons. Wow, okay. I think she kind of felt bad, maybe, like at first in the beginning, that she felt like, oh no, like I came on to you, I'm so sorry, and I know we were ready for that. But then maybe him hugging her was like saying, like, no, it's all good, fam. And I'm assuming that whole thing there was happening was probably confirmation on her end too, like, hey, that wasn't a fluke. Like, I know I said I wasn't thinking straight, but I know what I want now. And I know for sure I want to do this. Maybe Japan with how much they seem to go at it like like water. Now, see, Duo, what you don't know is that the birth rate of Japan is actually pretty low. You wouldn't, I mean, it's surprising to think that because, if we're seeing this and we're thinking, oh, yeah, that's fine, that's definitely Japan. No, Japan actually is struggling with, is actually struggling to have the birth rate go up. I remember watching the anime Romantic Killer, and when they brought that up as a plot point kind of thing, like at first I thought, ah, that's bullshit. They're just doing that just to make the freaking anime work and all that. And then it turned out it's true. Because I looked it up. I was like, I actually did look it up. I was like, is the birth rate actually low in Japan? And they were saying, yep, it's declining. The birth rate is declining. I could say it's low for some Asian countries at the moment, yeah. Family-friendly channels going rogue. After a chaotic dash to the station and finding our seats in an otherwise deserted carriage, we promptly crashed. Like at the time, close to midnight, just a little surprised that you take this particular train. Hanako was fast asleep on Lily's shoulder, and I can only barely muster the energy to stay awake. The excitement we had a while ago probably didn't help. I'd probably be pretty depressed about going back to school if my brain was actually working. As it is, though, the sight of the nighttime scenery scrolling by is surprisingly beautiful. My loud yawn is nearly wholly drawn up at the clacking of the train tracks and the old carriages rattling. I was so tired. She smiles. And whose fault is that, Hisao? She does toe the line between insulting and amusing sometimes. I managed to wring out a weary smile. I look back at the window, my reflection just visible in the clear pane. Truth be told, she's perfectly correct. If it weren't for that little interlude a few hours ago, both of us would have a lot more energy. Yeah, you didn't have to say yes to having her come in. But you did. You could have just said, wait a moment, let me get out, let me get dressed. They did not do that. You knew exactly what you were doing too, Hisao. Don't act like you didn't. You even admitted my mind was wandering. On top of that, we both had to take another bath. Very nearly making us late for the train's departure. Oh, so you guys got sweaty. Yeah, it was mine. Still getting into the bath with the guy is a dangerous thing to do. Oh, whoa. So that's what happened. She got into the bath. Evidently. Sorry, I guess I took advantage of the situation back there. Well, I didn't exactly hate it. As she trails off, I look back to her. My eyes narrow as I see her slightly reddened cheeks and small grin, her mind obviously elsewhere. Say it. I knew the possibility of it happening was there. So even she knew. Okay, so they both fucking knew. They were like, yeah, yeah. Let's see where this goes. You're the birthday in the States. I'm really sick of people breeding these days. I knew it. You're just as dirty-minded as I am. She could have tossed into her free hand, making her disapproval crystal clear. That's a rather crude way of putting it. Oh, and you would suggest? I merely have a healthy adolescent sex drive. So in other words, dirty-minded. Almost seeming to sense the moment, Hanako mumbles quietly as she furrows her brow in Lily's lap. Lily's look of disapproval melts away as she gently smiles and strokes her hand on Hanako's long dark hair. All I can do is watch. Watch and smile. If someone were to ask me when I fell in love with her, I wouldn't be able to answer. The best I'd be able to come up with is, it just happened at some point, but I didn't realize it. If someone were to ask me why I love her, though, then I can answer much more easily. You really love Hanako, don't you? She gives a deep nod, smiling warmly. It's a pity we have to return to school. She seemed to relax so much while we were all away. Save. Over here. I feel like... Maybe talk about Hanako. So far, it seems like helping to focus on Hanako has helped quite a bit. Like when we were making sure to give her food because, you know, Lily wasn't around. She went visiting her family, so Hanako was a little depressed. Well, most innocent looking are secretly the most crazy. Busy making the money. Ship and get that work on my health and such. Well, I'm gonna say Hanako. This feels like the right answer. I wouldn't worry. Hanako's been gaining confidence thanks to you. At least, for as long as I've known you two. She gives a self-deprecating sigh. I think I merely provided her with company and support. Since she came to know you, she's opened up much more, even to me. I get the feeling she's understating her influence on Hanako, especially given that before the two came to know each other, Hanako had no friends to speak of. The friends I'd had in my previous school fulfilled what I'd had expected of them, for the most part simply being there for idle chatter. But in Hanako and Lily, there really seems to be more to their relationship. Part of me envies it, but another can't ignore the fact that the school year will eventually end. After graduation, I really have no idea what Hanako will do. This trip has shown me just how much we all come to depend on one another. Indeed, we're all going to have to make decisions. Maybe that's the reason why, despite a return to school, also heralding a return to the normalcy of everyday life, I can't help feeling a little restless. On the bright side, it won't take long for the summer holidays to arrive after our exams are finished. We could come back here during the summer holidays if you want. For a moment she thinks of the notion, her face becoming somewhat distant. I can only guess she's reflecting on all that's happened here. That would be good, I think. I nod approvingly, smiling at her. Summer. Together with Lily. This idea seems like the perfect way to spend our holiday. Oh, we're going to the final act. Act 4, future. Future. Although right here's a good point to stop. Because it is getting a little late. I was getting a little into the reading too, don't get me wrong. That part there with the whole, like, his heart almost giving, well, not giving out, but he, ooh, the heart murmurs came back, knocked him off his feet. Like, dang, man, that let up quite a bit. And now they not only had sex once, but twice. I just wasn't expecting to be that close. At least with Suzune, it was a little spaced apart. Well, that said though, let's call it a night. Let's save it. Ba, 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 ba. Alright, so far I feel like I'm on a good route though, so I'm gonna put save over the prelude. It's good hearing you. Should add me on Discord. Oh yeah, it's been a minute. You sound definitely getting more. Alright, let's go back to the main menu. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I like that this is slowly filling up. Oh, I can't wait to see how it looks like when you, like, do the other girls' routes. Like, how it adds on. 02706. Okay. Okay, got it. Alright, okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll see if I can do it before I forget. Alrighty, guys. So, that said, we accomplished quite a bit. We finished the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom game. 100%. Perfect. Although now this means that Thursday is now open for a new game, but I think I'm just gonna go back and rate more of this. Because, play Doki Doki some similar only, minus the horror. Well, you'd be surprised, but this Katawa Shoujo is a product of 4chan. And I had heard many good things about this, but I never had the chance to play it. I got to play Hate of a Boyfriend before it got on Steam. Like, I managed to play that on my own. And then Steam came out, the Steam version came out, and, you know, they added all this new stuff, like the Bad Boys Love Root and all that. And more to it. And, you know, I remember I got into that because people were saying, oh yeah, like, it's actually really nice roots in this. And then Lauren, it's like fucking something else. Jesus. Anyway, um, so yeah, I do like though in Lily's route at least is that there is more focus on Hisao's own disability. I feel like with Suzune, it was more focused on her to the point that Hisao was almost feeling like a secondary character in it. He's the main character, and he was feeling like a second character, a side character. So yeah. Oh man. Oh man. Because yeah, like it always seems to focus on Suzune's disability and everything. And I think there's like only once or twice the topic of Hisao's, you know, heart condition came up in her route. Whereas in Lily's it was actually addressed early on. And not only that, but it's actually been more consistent. Like it actually showed like his heart, like, you know, acting up a little bit. Which, by the way, that still doesn't quite make sense. Because come on, I mean, yes, you're taking your medication, but should you really be having sex when you have a heart condition? That shit gets the heart pumping. Are you sure it's a good idea? The fucking Yusao's playing with fire, man. But hey, if you're gonna go out a certain way, why not? Go out like a Chad. Anyway, here we go. Let's close the game now. Alrighty, so doing good, doing good. Hopefully this means that we'll be finishing up. Oh, excuse me, hold on. Big yawn hit me. Hopefully this means that we can see Lily's story end at some point. Like maybe we're getting close because I feel like Suzune's was a little shorter compared. I don't remember it going to an Act 4 like Lily's has. But anyway. Let's play some games on the laptop instead of my Xbox Series. Can still play Ark. Ah. High blood pressure's took it down. Okay, high blood pressure's different though a little bit. This dude has a freaking heart problem. Like it's his heart. Dude almost passed out walking. So yeah, if he almost passed out just from walking. Like, sorry, but doing no, having sex is a little bit more rigorous. I think it's just as much of an exercise. So it's like, what? How are you doing this? How are you doing this? Why are you doing this? God damn it. But anyway, maybe I could also look into doing one off real quick too. Oh yes, and I got EDF 6. Gonna play that with Icy at some point. Let's see. Well, that's a horror though. Maybe we shouldn't do that one yet. It seems like a one-off kind of game. Oh yeah, I heard this one was pretty short. So maybe we can even do that. Milk inside a bag of milk inside a bag of milk, and then milk outside a bag of milk outside a bag of milk. Oh man. Oh, what freaking titles on that, man? I might do a slash on that, because supposedly one of these one takes like 15 minutes. So maybe we could do that. It's the only other one I haven't played yet either. And I'm saving some of these spooky ones for spooky season. So yeah, there's also that. Oh man, I gotta get back into Yakuza too. But anyway, I am digressing. Oh my gosh, I am getting distracted. Alright guys, gonna call it a night. Have a good rest of your... Wait, what happened here? Gotta go out, either that or fighting is gonna die. No worries, Andy, don't worry. Sal's heart working on paid overtime. Alright. Alright, but yeah, alright guys, so have a good rest of your morning, day, night, whatever. I will see you guys tomorrow with more Kingdom Hearts. Let's see if we can finish up Sora's story, and then we can hop onto Riku's story. I really want to finish Chain of Memories in its entirety before starting up Kingdom Hearts 2. So, alright, so, I'll tackle that as it comes along. Anyway, alright guys, so, good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.